Hi, Jacob.
Hey,
Hi.
hello, Keith. How are
Yeah,
you?
nice to meet you. Good, good, good. Good evening for Hong Kong time, your Asia time, and good morning for you. Is
Yeah,
it very early morning?
Yeah, it's 7:30 in San
Wow.
Francisco.
Oh, great, great. I love San Francisco. So,
Yeah,
how are you? How's everything? The coronavirus, and also I heard that the unemployment rate is also increased in USA. So,
yeah.
everything fine?
It depends on who you speak with. Is out everywhere. I mean, we've been
Okay,
impacted like everybody. Um,
okay,
this has kind of let us know that we are connected as a global society for sure.
okay.
But in regards to Corona, if the more active people are, the more they think differently to create things, because you have
Mm-hmm.
to now. The economy is in some sectors is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And just like when we shelter in place and we keep ourselves safe, it gives you time to think and to
Yeah, yeah,
wonder, what am I going to do next? And
yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
really
yeah,
excited about sharing what we're going to share today. But
yeah, yeah.
Corona's impacted everybody, and in my experience, the more active people have been, the more successful. I have
Mm,
clients that are doing better than they ever have during this
mm,
time, and they
okay.
shouldn't be, but they when you think differently, you can create things.
Yeah, sure. Different industries have different actions, and no problem. You have a great leader.
Yeah.
Almost
Well,
great.
thank
Yeah,
you for that. But
yeah,
but as you know, if you don't do the work, you could
yeah,
have the best lessons in the world, the best
yeah,
training, the
yeah,
people. So I appreciate what you say, but I also give credit to the people that listen and
yeah.
go do the work, because that's what's required. And if people do the work, especially right now, there's a big opportunity. If
Hmm.
you do the work, you will succeed.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. So today we have invited Jacob, so a coach, a guide, and your trainer. So the reason why is that because today's topic is if you are finding jobs, okay, so there's other alternative ways for you. You can start up your own business. If you have idea, if you just maybe internet connections, a phone or whatever. So guys, you have to listen to what Jacob's with like 20 more than 20 years experience in coaching. So to help you to start your own business. So if you have any questions, please leave your comments as well. Yeah. So first of all, maybe I'll just quickly introduce you. Maybe we got some common things because I think Jacob worked with Brian Golod and also maybe worked with my friends James Falk before. So I also received some of the message, from comments and all those things. So we build a relationship. This is what you can do. Just like, comment, and share other people's, and then you will get more opportunities, and you can able to work with other people. That's how we've been keep in touch with each other, right? So Jacob, what do you think? Is it a good way, or maybe you can also introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, thank you. What
Yeah.
follow what Keith just said, because 3 months ago, I just started listening to what successful people were doing, like James Folk, like Keith, like
Okay.
Brian Golad. And if you comment on other people's stuff and you get engaged and you bring out the best of what you have and you share it with people freely, you will get into positions like this opportunity today to be able to get exposed to people like yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
This works. This is a really good thing. My history has been, I was a corporate person, for I did corporate sales. I was very successful at it, but I always had this thought, this little bug, as we call it here
Mm,
in the States, that there was something more I could do. And so in 1999 or 2000, the new millennium, I figured, let me do something new. And I became an entrepreneur. And I had meteoric success. I created a $1 million sales company within the first
wow.
first 10 months of me starting a business, knowing some things, but not knowing a lot. Um,
You learn a
and
lot during this process.
oof,
The
yeah,
$1 million, right?
yeah. Well, I knew I was a salesperson. That was my career. And I knew I was going to create a sales company. I just didn't know what it was going to do. And that's something that people ask sometimes. What do I mean by that? Is every business has to market, every business has to sell. Even if you're looking for a career, you have to market yourself to get interviews. You have to sell yourself in the interview. So everything's about marketing and sales. So I create businesses that are marketing and sales companies that do whatever it is that is done. So my first one was bathroom remodeling, and
Okay.
but
What's that?
what was that?
Bathroom remodeling? What's that?
Yeah, I sold advertising to businesses,
Oh,
and there was a really successful trend, which is called bathtub liners and wall systems, that came into the U.S.
okay.
And it was an opportunity. I didn't know anything about bathroom remodeling. I was a sales rep. I worked with companies, but I saw the opportunity, and I knew that I could scale the business, which means I could find people to do the things that I couldn't do. And then I could grow this business big. And so that was the idea. That was the plan. And the less that I knew, the better I did. Because the more you know, the more you think you got to figure it out. And that's not always
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. You have to take actions as well. Okay.
Yeah, massive action.
Yeah. So guys, today is quite special because, I always, tell people you have to find a job. Okay. You have to fix your CV, interviews, and all those things. And then also have got a 30 days programs to guide you step by step what you need to do from day one. Maybe you terminated to until you find a job. And then the reason why I work with Jacob is because I saw him as a 30 days business startup, okay, plan and help people to become an entrepreneur. Because if you can't find a job, maybe in this certain area situations or economy, then it is also a good way for you to learn how you can earn extra income, maybe a part-time freelance, or maybe you just have, do some online business. So that's why I think this 30 days business plan and the launch program will be able to help you. So that's why I invite Jacob to talk about that. So is it possible you can share some of the insights and how you can actually do that by just 30 days or maybe some successful stories of your previous students or something? Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you. I named it the 30-day business launch because you can easily launch a business when you know what you have to do in 30 days or less. And so I developed a really easy step-by-step process that takes people through each thing that has to be done in little steps so that it's not only doable by anybody and understandable, but that it leads you to the next step, and you understand the series and the successes, and it's easily attainable. So you have to know what you're going to do. You have to know who you're going to do it with. You have to know what you're going to offer. You have to know how to price it. And then you have to get a few little technical components in place, which are very easy to do when you know what to look for. And then you have to figure out your first marketing message and where you're going to market. So all of those things are included in the package. And within 30 days, someone without any knowledge at all can create and start their business and get their marketing out to the people that is the right target audience, which makes a really important point. If you don't know exactly who is the perfect person to come into your business and buy your product or service, you may think that everybody could use it. And it's much harder to market to everybody than it is to a narrow niche. And so
Mm.
that's part of what the training is. I take away all of the things that it took me 6 months to figure out on my own and give it to you in a really easy package. And some of my successes are there's somebody now, she's called the Legal Warrior. Within 30 days, she went from being an attorney to helping entrepreneurs through to get legal online, legal in their business, legal in their content, and launch this business. And this year, she should probably do about 700,000 in sales.
Wow,
And so,
wow.
just from in 30 days or less, creating this new business, leaving a career that is in quotes, a very good position, and to create this business and launch it. So it gives people the confidence, it gives you the steps, and there's definitely a lot of successes that come out of this.
Yeah, great. As you follow this 30 days and then you got six figures business right away. So
Yes.
how do you is it you share your experience and then you design this program, or is it you mix with like practical homework or anything? I mean, video, whatever in this program, so that makes so attractive and really able to help people.
Yeah, well, we're in the video era. So
Okay.
it's a video series with some worksheets, work pages, and definitely some homework because you're going to have to make some decisions. And I show you that's one of the modules is how to make decisions because some people, if you've never done something, it seems difficult sometimes up here.
Yeah.
And what I do is lay it out very easily so that you can make the decision, and that it is your choice, not trying to find your answers outside because everything's from here anyway. It's from inside.
Okay. Okay.
So it makes it easy, and it's in recorded modules. You can access them one at a time. I recommend that you finish module 1 before you start 2, but you do have access to all of them. So there are a couple people that have done this in about 15 to 18 days. But 30 days, just think about how long have somebody out there been thinking about a business? Maybe months or years. And if you can get all of this completed in 30 days, that's pretty amazing.
Okay, great, great. So for me, the 30 days program just decided I of course it's 15 to 20 minutes videos every day, but I would like to, and hopefully I can accelerate your job search results in 4 days because
Wow.
people just can't wait. Yeah, because the first day maybe you need to think about your career change, then your LinkedIn profile ready, and the second day maybe you think about okay, I can't just rely on job boards to apply, and then what are the creative ways or some other ways, and then your CV is ready as well. And on the third day for me is okay, if you got any positive results, then definitely you need to equip with your interview skills. And then on the fourth day, of course, some other good things like there's your salary offers and you need to know more about HR process and secrets. So make sure that you can get a job, and that is how I design. And so I think yeah, it's really good that we do have something like 30 days to work on that. Yeah, it's excellent. Yeah.
Well, Keith and I were talking earlier, and with everything that's happened in the last 60 to 90 days, there's been a shift in what's happening in the world, and so some careers are accelerating. And there's lots of opportunity, and some careers have condensed because there's less
Yeah.
opportunity because business. So we thought and we believe that this is a perfect combination for everybody because even if you have a career,
Yeah.
having a secondary type of business that you can run at your schedule on your time that generates extra income is nice, so that if anything like this ever, we hope not, but if anything like this ever happens again, you are controlling your own destiny. You are not relying on something else and then having to withstand whatever shows up. You get to control this, and that's the beauty of combining our forces together and having this
Yeah.
opportunity for everybody. So yeah, we make it as easy as possible for you to do it. And just like you said, James, like you do it in 4 days, which is amazing. Mine is a series of 7 sequential steps, and each
Hmm.
step you feel some form of accomplishment. And if you get it done in 2 hours, you can always go to module 2. But I do it in a format that doesn't put you under too much pressure, that allows you to create success easily, because it can be easy if you allow it to be and you have the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. So, but I just want to ask because people nowadays is quite skeptical and they are very conservative because you know what, the economy is not good. So I would prefer keep some savings, okay, and just I don't know, maybe 6 or 9 months, then I can find another role. But is it a good time for them to start a business, or just no way, I'm just waiting for the chances to get back to the career? What do you think? What do you think? Is it what was the advice maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, you're asking somebody who's an eternal optimist as well. I don't believe that there's been a bad time to start a business besides maybe a restaurant during Corona. Um, and even with that said, it depends on what type of service you're going to provide in that restaurant. Because I work with a couple of restaurants that have had a lot of success during this time, but they had to really be creative. It is a good time right now because a lot of people are getting back slowly into some activity and action and what used to be our normalcy. And we'll figure out what that is. But there's a great opportunity right now to use technology because more people are using it than they ever have, to launch your business, to get in front of people, and to provide a more collaborative win-win situation. One of the biggest transitions that I see with what's happened with us in the last 90 days is people are more open to collaboration. They understand that compassionate selling, not just selling to make money, is the way that it has to be done from here on out. So there's a great opportunity. It doesn't matter what skills you have skills to create a business that will help somebody else. And that's one of the things in my 30-day biz launch that we first delve into is understanding all the things that you've done and what skills it required for that activity to be done. And then how you can use those skills to create a new business. Sometimes it's the same and sometimes it's different. Just a quick example, if you're an accountant, you have really good organizational skills. You have really good attention to detail. You have really good commitment to things, because if you have to sit somewhere and figure out a problem and you're able to do that, that's a skill set that a lot of people do not have, that patience. So all of those things could be used in a different capacity to help an entrepreneur, to help a different company. It doesn't have to be accounting. It could be organizing a file system for entrepreneurs, which a lot of entrepreneurs could use because creatives don't like detail. And so
people don't know the numbers.
That's right. Or bookkeeping, right? You could create a bookkeeping company and then teach other people how to follow your process. And now you can scale a business very easily.
Okay, yeah, but you mentioned about that. Yeah, of course, we do have a lot of collaborations. But if I really need to start business, so how can I find the products to sell, the passion, or because I have no ideas at all, right? So I'm not really committed right now. So how could I get some ideas from you, or what kind of expertise that I could offer to somebody?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of this program. Again, I'll go back to it, but one of the modules tells you how to find the skills that you have. And let's just say you're one of the very few, like less than 1%, that have no skills that could be used for a business. If you have things in your closet, if you have things in your attic, if you have things, I've taught people how to create business selling on products like eBay or something like that, and being able to generate easily within 30 to 90 days maximum 2,000 to 3,000 US a month profit. So it doesn't matter whether you believe you have the skills or not. This program will show you the skills that you may have through some examples. And if you don't have any, or you choose not to use them, there's always some other way that you can do business. And so nobody has the belief, hopefully, that they don't have any skills that would apply to a business. Every single person looking at this right now or listening to this in a recording has the opportunity to create a business, and you can do it in 30 days or less.
Yeah, I understand it. But as you mentioned about, is looks like you have to get the commitment, because most of the people just buy the program and then maybe watch one of these modules and just think, okay, yeah, I'm trying it, and then they stop, and then they might question themselves, they might question you, question whatever. So how can you keep track of the progress and make sure that they success and pass the whole 30 days program?
Yeah, that's a great question to ask. So what this program includes is 2 live contacts.
Oh, okay.
See, a third in any program, 33% take the program, accelerate without question.
Yeah.
33% do some and get stuck somewhere and slow down, but they still have a strong desire to do it. They just can't figure some things out. And so they slow down, they feel they're behind. And then 33% buy the program, do something, get excited about something else, and go do that. So those 2/3, those 66% of people is who I talk to. And if you accelerate with the program, I commend you. You're amazing, and you will do things very quickly. The other 2/3, it's not uncommon. It's pretty normal. We're all different. We learn differently. We learn at different paces. So what I've done is created these 2 live calls. And what it does is it either answers your questions so that you can accelerate, you can keep going, or it's going to let you know that you could use probably more help. Because some people, and even myself, I bought programs before and I started doing really good, and then I got stuck and I
Yeah,
realized
yeah.
that I couldn't do it myself. And so we give you an opportunity at about 15 days in that you can either stay working on the program and I'll answer any question during that time, or we can go to the next level, which is getting some help and maybe joining a group, which would be even for some people a lot better, because being part of a community and hearing other people's stories kind of encourage us, or at least let us know that we're not alone. We're not the only one being behind.
Yeah, yeah, because otherwise people will say that, oh, they're exceptional, they might
Right.
got talents or they may have experience before, so that's why they can do that, but I can't, right? So because I think a lot of people uh, I can't go through that is because they have their own fear, okay, and they don't, willing to try some new things. So is it in your program, is there anything like motivational elements or anything like you keep telling them this is this is good, this is excellent, okay? How can you handle that? Those guys like they're just afraid that they will fail.
Well, that's a mindset piece. And I can just say that anybody that's on this program today that's listening that has a desire to change something, to do something, that makes sense for you. You have the ability to do it. I can tell you all day how much ability that you have, and I can motivate you during this call because I know every single person has this ability inside to do it. You have this desire. But what we have to do sometimes is figure out this thing, because
Mm,
this gets in the way. Thinking is overrated. And so
yeah, yeah.
what we have to do is we just have to understand that every single person has this ability, and you can do it as long as you stay committed to the work. It is going to get difficult sometimes. When you don't know something, it always feels difficult. It's not difficult because what I ask you to do is not physically demanding.
Yeah.
It's mentally challenging because you have to make a decision sometimes, but making decisions is part of life. And so I do cover some mindset pieces in between. There's some encouragements that you'll see in the follow up. And there's also some ways that I go through that here's how you do it. So I try to lay it out as easy as possible. I'm very visual. And so I know that 75% of the population is as well. And so what I've done is laid it out for those people to easily be able to see how they can take the next step. And are there going to be some glitches sometimes? Once in a while there are, but there's a support system in place. That's why we do the 2 calls.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Because as I always think that people just think too much. Okay, as me, as same thing, right? Because I
Yeah,
changed too many jobs. Because every time when I do this job, maybe, oh, I think it's quite repetitive. Oh, I learned something already, and then I just thinking about quitting. So everyone could have the same mindset. So yeah, that's why I think really think that your program is really good for helping people at least they can try to see if they are suitable as an entrepreneur or they can, you always know, right? You always don't know if you don't try, right? So maybe
that's
you'll
right.
get a very good business right away. So any other advice for you for those people who are struggling right now uh, or about this kind of economic situations, what they need to do? Any other advice you can provide to them?
Yeah. The simple answer is be willing to take action. You,
Yeah,
you don't
just
you don't have to know how to do everything the right way. The most important thing to do is to take a step. Every time you take a step, you're walking down a path. If you walk down the path, you're going to find where you need to go the next step. It's going to show up for you. You just have to trust yourself. You have to trust your intuition. Your intuition is what you feel, and then 3 seconds later, your brain kicks in and tells you something different. So you have to learn, the journey of an entrepreneur is learning how to take action and not be overly concerned with the result. And what I mean by that is we are going to make mistakes, and culture tells us mistakes are bad. Entrepreneurs know mistakes are good. Mistakes teach us things. We always hear successful people. I've interviewed over 25, I think 23 multimillionaires. Every single one of them has had failure. Every single one of them credits their failure for part of their success.
Yeah.
So if that's true, why do we look at failure or mistakes as a bad thing? So people think I'm crazy sometimes because when a problem shows up in my business, I'm like, oh, yes, there's a problem. And they're like, why are you excited? And I go, because I have an opportunity today. I don't like the problem. It causes me stress immediately. But what I understand is that every time you solve a problem, there's an elation at the other side. You had success. You figured something out and you were able to go through it. Every time we go through a challenge, don't you feel better? So what I tell you to do mindset wise, a real quick mindset training is embrace the things that show up. Problems happen in life all the time. We can't control what shows up for us, but we can always control how we react and respond to it. And if you
Yeah.
slow down for a minute and you understand that you're going to go through this problem anyway, you're going to figure it out because you have to. And then as soon as you do, there's excitement and elation. So that's my encouragement to everybody. Everybody here that's watching or listening has the opportunity to create a business. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a multi-million-dollar company, but it can be. The
Yeah.
opportunity you have is to prove to yourself that
Yeah.
you have this amazing ability to be able to figure something out and create something out of an idea. And people, as long as you're solving a problem or you're giving somebody a gain, somebody that makes things easier or makes things better, that's a business opportunity.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time to take your idea to that next level.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. I really love that because you have to enjoy the whole process, and also determination is very important because I know that maybe in US or some other countries you got army, right, or you got athletics, right? People are just we for winning the gold medal or whatever, they try their best, okay? That take actions, and then they can be a successful business entrepreneurs. You can see that, okay? People change from army or athletics and become successful business, right? So that's I really appreciate that, and I also noticed that Tony Robbins also mentioned, for a successful person, right, 20% maybe strategies, but 80% is psychology. Their mindset is the belief, the value systems is um, I'm not saying helping or but just affecting the decisions. That's so true, yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely is true. So, it's about being willing to make that decision and commit 100% to it just for the next step. And like I said, there's times, and you know this as an entrepreneur, you don't have every answer. You don't
Yeah.
know everything, and sometimes things get difficult. When Corona hit, I had what I call a freak out moment because my business depends on other business owners paying me to be their coach, guide, and consultant. And my first thought was, oh no, the economy's dying. Everything's going to
Mm,
happen. I'm going to lose my company. And I had a choice. I could either stay with this feeling and wait to see what happened and hope that everything worked out, or I could think differently, become a leader to myself, and decide to take a step. And so I did. And I reached out to every single person that I worked with. And I said, look, you have a choice. What are you going to choose right now? You got to make a decision. Are you going to be creative, do whatever it is that you have to do to make your business grow and stay where it's at? Or are you going to wait to see what happens? So out of the 26 people that I worked with 22 of them diligently. Sometimes we were talking every single day, but we thought differently. We got business doing differently. And out of those 22 people that are taking action, all 22 are either at the same level of sales that they were pre-corona or doing better than they ever have. And so it's a mindset. We can think differently. We can create differently. And you can create a business in 30 days. All you have to do is not be excited for one day, but learn how to stay excited every single day for even just a short period of time. As long as you can focus and get one thing done every day that's a priority, you will create success.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's a change is very important. Just like you, as you mentioned, that you may be doing offline things. Right now, you're doing more online things, connect with more people through LinkedIn. Yeah, that is really good. But by the way, I'm curious because you mentioned that you previously you built a multi-million dollars company, but why you changed to become a coach and why you want to share your knowledge to help people?
Yeah. So when I started my first business, my goal was to create $1 million sales company. I thought it would take me 5 years. The first year we did 1.2 million in sales, and that was my first year was a 10-month year from the end of March
Yeah.
until the end of the year, and then the second year we did 1.8. The next year we did 1.9, and I got it to 2.2, and then I said I fulfilled my goal, so I sold the company, and I realized the value of having a system, a manualized system. Because see, if you have a business that you're going to sell, if you're the business, meaning if everything's up here, if you buy my business and I leave, there's no business.
Yeah,
All you have is
exactly.
assets. So I realized I had to create a manual because I thought I had $1 million company and I didn't, because I didn't have a manual of operations. So we created that, my wife and I did. And then I sold the company and I became the bank, which I
Mm.
don't recommend. And so when you're funding it, the owner, I got payments for about 8 months, and then the person was not a good business leader. He thought he could buy this business and then go sit on the beach. You have to work. You have to put the time in. So I had $1 million company that didn't make $1 million because the guy folded and I was the bank. So the bank lost. And then from there, I got into real estate. But the whole time I had been working, even when I sold advertising, I'd been working with businesses. I realized that they weren't tracking their advertising. They really didn't know if their advertising worked because they didn't track it. Companies don't know how to price things because they just price it like everybody else does. They don't know if they're profitable or not. So I started creating these programs or ways that they could learn it. And somebody in about 2002, 2003 said, you should be a coach. And I'm like, what's a coach? I also worked with John Gray, who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus for 7 years. And he kept encouraging me, you should be one of my coaches. And I'm like, what's a coach? And so I got introduced to coaching. And in 2007, I went through a certification process and I became a certified business coach. And then also through Mars Venus coaching, I became a certified business relationship coach. So I started working with partners in business and business couples and things of that nature. But that's how I got into it. I was helping business owners figure things out. I had my own business and I realized all of the things that I had to figure out on my own, which cost me sometimes a lot of money and time. And then I got certified, and it took me 3 years to get full time. I jumped into it. I wasn't good at certain parts of it. The fortunate thing for me is I knew the business side of it. And that's the thing that kept me in it. Because 85% of coaches right now, there's a statistic that I read, only do this part-time because they don't know the business side of it. So I'm
Yeah.
grateful that I do, and now I teach it to other people.
Yeah, great. So besides your famous like 30 days program, so I also understand that you will have a group coaching for them to boost the sales. What are the programs that you also offered?
Yeah, so I have a few segmented programs. I have one called your pricing for profit formula. And again, one of the most important things you do as a business is you have to know how to price things. If you don't price things properly, you may not cover all your expenses. You may not make profit. You may not be able to pay taxes, and you definitely won't make the money that you think you deserve. So there's a series that you have to know, a formula. And you have to know how to price things properly so that you pay for everything. You pay yourself you pay anybody else that's there, and you pay your taxes, and your company makes profit. Entrepreneurs have this belief, which is not a good one. They believe that if they need something for their business, they pull in their pocket and they pull out their money and go buy it. If you're in a corporation, does a corporation go to the CEO and say, we need copy paper, give me $20? Never.
No,
They pull
yeah,
it out of the profit of the company. So what I do is teach the entrepreneur how to have that corporate mentality and be able to price things properly. I also have a referral and follow-up system program that I do, because people usually just ask for referrals, and people usually do follow up when it's convenient. And if you create a system to do it, it will supply you with 30 to 50% of all your business. You know, we've heard the gold is in the follow-up, but yet 75% of all entrepreneurs are really poor if they do follow up at all. They don't do it timely. They don't
yeah,
do it at all.
yeah,
And it's a system that has to be implemented and easily delegatable. When you can rinse and
yeah,
repeat, when you can repeat a system, then you can hand it off to somebody else and it will be successful. And so I have a program for that. I also have my Business Boost group program, which takes the 30-day biz launch people and other people that have been in business but maybe not have that much success. And it takes them in a group program, and I teach them the fundamentals of the business, keep them accountable, keep them motivated, get their marketing message, and get them in massive action. Action is the only thing that produces a result. And when you attempt to just keep motivating yourself, inspiring yourself every day, you find that it's a very difficult journey to travel. No business is hugely successful with just one person. It takes a team.
yeah,
And then I
yeah,
do my one-on-one coaching, which is my higher level because it's my time. And so those people get some really good attention. They get some really big, lofty goals, and we get you in some really consistent and major actions and activities, so that my average client works with me about 6 months to 12 months. And in that time, I'm looking to have you double your income and scale your business if you're looking to scale it.
yeah. Every business, the most important thing is the owner, is the founder. So if he is not working, then everything is not working.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we all want to sit at the beach, right? You know, or go
yeah,
take some time off, but you know, you have to set your business up so that it functions without you in order to be able to do that. That's the
yeah,
ideal thing. You know, we'd like
yeah.
to make more money, have more time. And the only way to do that is you have to have some good structure and you have to have some systems.
Yes, yes, definitely. So yeah, it seems like you've been doing like more than like 10 years already.
Yeah, well, since 2008,
Yeah.
and I've been full time since 2012.
Yeah, yeah, great, great. So, but now, as you mentioned about the economy's change, and because of the coronavirus, everyone is impacted. So, what are the advice for like, I don't know, the people that you're looking for jobs, or people that doing business, or you know, what would you suggest to them?
Especially right now, that's a great question, Keith. Right now, it's really important to understand two things. Number one, you can't do it alone. I suggest you hire Keith if you're looking for a career. I suggest you hire me if you're looking to start your business or grow your business bigger. But even if you don't work with us, find somebody that
Yeah,
you connect with that can really help you. This is really, the business is changing. The way we communicate is just changing the way that it was. It's not necessarily new, but it is changing from the way that it was before. And so it's very difficult to just do it all on our own. There's too many things out there that we can learn. So what happens when you have somebody like Keith or myself is that it allows you to get narrower focused, the accountability in the program that helps you complete, because you have now, oh, I know Keith's going to send me module 2 tomorrow. I got to get this done today. That's part of accountability. That's why programs work like that. So I suggest that you do that part.
yeah,
There's an opportunity right now um, for expansion on a really big level, because the way that things have shifted. And I recommend anybody that's either looking for that dream career or that high level career, find the help. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only way that you can do it. You know, even with entrepreneurs, I can teach everything, but I'm not the doer of it. You still have to do it. Myself, I have a team. I have a team that finds leads and generates them for me. I have someone that schedules my part of my life, because I can't do everything. I can attempt to, but I don't do it very well. So getting help is really an encouraging suggestion today for sure.
Okay, so yeah, just repeat. The first one is hire a coach so that people help you, and secondly is not just doing it for yourself, but you have a team. You have outsourced some of the things that you don't want or you're not good at, and then you can grow because this is also opportunities for someone. It's not just every business is down, but some other business is growing. So
Right.
just just find the right things to do, right?
Yeah. Well, and even some of the businesses that seem down, it just depends on if you can be creative and persistent. It's about taking action. If you can be persistent in the new way of doing business, just a quick example, chiropractors
Yeah,
is an essential business here. But when Corona hit, nobody wanted to go see them.
yeah. No one will show the clinic. Yeah,
Right. So the ones I was working with, I said, look, do video, show them how you clean, show them you're wearing masks, show them you have gloves, show them that it's safe to come in. Those that did it and then reached out to everybody they know. Hey, you're my friend. Share this on your social media locally with me. Those are the ones that accelerated their business. I had 3 in particular that I worked with that within 2 weeks, they went from 75% business down to the same level that they had or growing their business within 2
yeah.
weeks. So there's an opportunity everywhere. But yes, it's massive action right now. You can't do this on your own. It really is. And one of the big things that I would suggest to everybody here is be willing to invest in yourself. You have to take a risk. It doesn't feel like you can afford it sometimes. And what you have to look at is what's the future? If I invest in this, when can I get the payback? When can I get the return on investment, the ROI? A lot of times that's how entrepreneurs like you, Keith, people that are looking for that career realize that I can't afford not to invest in this because I
Yeah,
can't wait 6 more months or 1 more year for that dream job. I can't wait 6 more months or 1 year for my business to create profit. So you have to be willing to take that risk.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so true. You invest in yourself, and just like very simple. For example, if you're having a restaurant, so maybe no one comes to your shop, but you can think about okay, takeaways or delivery, and then that's also the future. So just that simple actions, but then if you can change, then everything is good, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, any other advice for you for people or any other topics or anything you would like to say?
No, I would just say that, if you're really serious about changing your current situation, whether it's finding that career, or starting that business or getting a business that you have more clearly defined, this is an opportunity. You can either choose to take the opportunity and grow, or you can choose to say, oh, this was a good meeting. Let me go to the next meeting. Let me go to the next
Hmm.
one. We're looking for people that are really ready to take action. And if that's you, I strongly recommend that you consider what we're going to be sharing with you in a little bit, because this is a time in our history, this is a time in our life that making decisions are so critically important. We don't have big windows of opportunity. There's a big opportunity, but it's a small window. This is your time. If you understand what we're saying today, we're going to ask you to probably take an action.
Yeah,
For those of you that are ready, please do. For those that are not, use everything that you can that's free for right now. Learn as much as you can, but be willing very soon to take that action, because you will not get a result until you take a step. And it's as they say, the journey of 1,000 steps. You look backward and you see how far you've come, but you have to only take one step at a time. And today we'll ask you to take one step.
That's so true. That's so true. You have plenty choices, but make the best choice that help you. Yeah.
Yeah, just make a choice. Sometimes it's like make any choice, because being an indecision is painful. It may seem like, oh, I saved some money, but if it's causing you emotional
Yeah.
pain
Yeah.
to not make a decision, making a bad decision is better than no decision to an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Great. So, any other things, or any other advice, or any other things you would like to add?
No, I just
Supplements.
say, if you're ready and we know that we can help you, I'd like to be able to offer my program today, if that's okay.
Yeah, great, great.
Yeah,
So guys, yeah, please, reach out to Jacob and leave some comments or whatever, so we can follow up and get back to you. And so, thank you so much for the time, Jacob. And so, any other things you would like to add?
no, what I'd like to just
Okay.
say is that I want to thank you, Keith, for
Yeah,
having me on today. Yes, share some love, give some comments, make sure you're connected to Keith. If you'd like to connect with me, I accept anybody as well. If I can help anybody in any way, all you have to do is just ask.
yeah, we can help.
It's not about that. Anybody that's on this program today, if you mention Keith Lau, what I'm going to do is because Keith asked me to give something really special, is I'm going to offer 50% off of my program for the
Wow,
next 7 days.
wow, wow,
So I
wow.
normally would charge you $997. I'm going to charge $497 for my 30-day business launch. I will give you 100% money back guarantee. If at the end of 30 days and you've done the work and you believe that it doesn't work, I will not ask you a question. I will give you back all your money.
Wow, that's
I
a good
believe in
deal.
that. I believe in you. And I also know that as a global neighborhood, which we are now, there's more integrity than there's not. So 30-day money back guarantee, 100%.
Wow, wow. So I would like to participate as well. So guys, if you're interested, then just go to Jacob, and a very good deal for you. So learn something, equip yourself, and try to think about any alternative ways. So thank you so much, Jacob, and thank you so much for the offer. Yeah, I think we all benefit from these programs, and learn something valuable during this life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And one last shout out to Keith. Thank you, Keith, for having me on today. But getting to know Keith and knowing the integrity and the quality of the person that he is. If you're looking for a career, don't hesitate. Don't try to do this all on your own. You could get help, and within 4 days or a week or 2 weeks, start having these massive interviews that are going to get you to that position that changes your whole life and changes the way that your family exists and lifestyle. Take this step, take that chance. You won't go wrong. I'm a good gauge of character, and I will tell you that I trust Keith. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you so much, Jacob.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
So I will see you again, and hopefully we can have a
All right.
further cooperation.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Let's connect.
Okay, cheers.
Bye.
Bye bye.